Welcome back to Wedlocked and Loaded.
Wedlocked and Loaded.
You women.
Do not lump us all in one category.
So you girls and lie and stretch the truth
You
and try
girls.
to get us jammed up.
First of all, I'm a whole ass woman, right? Think about
No
that.
disrespect.
Sounds like it to me. So why can't y'all? What is it with men that they just can't walk away?
Depends how good it is. You don't want to give that away.
Greetings, Wedlocked and Loaded, back again. We reloaded. That didn't work. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, we back. Wedlocked and Loaded. I'm Daniel Laurent. Leah Nicole is here. In effect, 1 2 1 2. Mic check. Yep. You heard?
Yo, mic check.
You awake?
I'm up. You up?
I'm up, baby.
All right.
Yeah. So, what do we have on the docket for today? Well, first, thank you to everyone that listen, like, share, download, follow, comment, put emojis, all that good stuff on the show. We appreciate you. Tell a friend, make sure that you, if you're getting some enjoyment or education or relief from the show and it's doing something for you, make sure you share it. If it's not doing anything for you, share it anyway.
That part.
If you rock with one or both of us, if you hate me and you love Leah and you want to be Team Leah, then share it. If you want to be, Team DL and you don't care for Leah, that's cool too.
Damn, it's okay for... Well,
see?
Gosh, darn it.
I know. It's crazy. Like, you let it fly like crazy.
I think that is going to be a goal of mine.
Good luck with that.
I don't even know where this person came from. It's crazy. Like,
I know exactly where it came from. The projects.
Shots fired.
No, I mean,
we just talked about this. This is so crazy to me.
But that's not a shot, though.
Baby, here's the thing.
But
that's a shot.
You sang that song when it came out.
You are
Project Chick, right?
You are basically, Anyway.
No, you sang that song. I heard you sing it.
Fool, and you sang it too.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we're married.
All right.
Right?
Sometimes.
Nice, Leah. You should be proud of yourself.
I'm very proud of me.
All right. So, what's on the docket? What are we talking about?
So, one of our topics before was, my question to you before was, about running into an ex, right?
Back on us again?
Yeah, kind of, sort of, but not really, right?
Boy.
I don't know if we ever talked about this, but do you feel like closure is important before you move on to a new relationship?
Yeah.
What does that look like? What does closure look like? And does the other person have to give it to you? Or do you just come to that conclusion yourself?
I don't think the other person is involved. Well, I take that back. I think that the closure comes from you, but you have different requirements on what is needed to bring that closure. But as I use the word intentionality all the time, you have to be intentional to have your closure. And I think for me, understanding why or understanding your perspective, even if I disagree with it, it allows me to be like, okay, and fill that in. But if I go off assumptions, and I make my own story and narrative and put pieces together, it's.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So.
I'm sorry. I said
go ahead. But why though, Leah?
Because why?
Like,
not?
Why did you feel the need to open your mouth?
Because
and let.
It's important.
Okay, so by doing that, you fuck up.
You see.
Exactly.
I'm just giving you a taste of your own medicine.
But that's warranted.
Saying,
I can't saying you mess up doesn't have the same punch. I'm in the middle of, I'm flowing.
All right, flow, baby.
Come on now. I don't even.
One thing you said, right?
Jesus Christ.
That's okay. You'll get it back. One thing you said was that you have to accept their reasoning. Do you?
Mm-mm. I didn't say that.
I'm sorry. So what did you say?
I said that even if you disagree
Okay.
with the explanation or their perspective,
Uh-huh.
you can at least have that to insert into whatever's missing in that puzzle of the relationship and the closure or whatever that is. But when it's
So there
not
has to
when
be
it's
some
not
form-
explained, then you're left to assume and fill in those spaces. And that can be right or wrong, and depending on the narrative that you create or assume, then the closure can come a little differently. Like if a person just breaks up with you and they say, you know, we're over. Sure, you can have the attitude, fuck him, his loss, blah, blah, blah. But if a person says we're over because we're growing in different places and, you know, I want a family and you don't, or I want to have a business and you want to stay at in your mother's basement, then at least you have that. Even if you disagree and feels like that can be worked through and time can allow those things, at least you have that to say, well, this is why. Okay. You know what I'm saying? So I think that the closure is definitely needed because certainly for me, like I learned in each relationship, well, I learned from my last relationship before you certain things that I didn't appreciate and certain things that I didn't like and didn't make me feel good. And so when you're cognizant of that, hopefully you're a little more mindful and the red flags should be a little more blaring. And I would think, I mean, we don't really talk like this anymore, but like, you know, if it was something going forward with you and like somebody else, the history of us, like certain things would be immediate red flags of, yeah, I ain't fucking with that. Or, yep, I gotta nip this in the bud right now because I know where this is gonna go. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, but I think the closure is important for you to be able to fully accept the person as they are and don't associate with them. Oh, that's some shit that Tyrone used to do, and that's some shit that Kelly used to do.
But I think that, right? I think that I think that if a behavior is presented and it reminds you of said ex, like you're going to feel that way regardless if you have the closure or not, right? Because it's the behavior that's present, and that behavior ignited certain feelings. So you're still gonna feel those feels.
You think?
Yeah, I do. I think that you're still gonna now. The degree in which you feel those feels might be a little bit different, but you're still gonna feel those feels. Like it's gonna be like, oh shit, yeah, I don't like that.
Isn't it a different way of feeling, like feeling as a reminder versus feeling as raw? Like if the wound is healed, and whether there's a little scar, a little indentation or not, is different than if it's like a raw wound that now salt's being poured in and alcohol is being poured in. And I think the goal is to not have the alcohol being poured in the wound.
Yeah.
And let it be like an actual healed wound with no Band-Aid on it and just actual healed skin.
Yeah.
Because, you know, like everyone's process is different. I feel like I don't want to say because I don't want to say that my way is the best way, but I deal.
That's what Virgos do. They believe that shit wholeheartedly.
I deal and feel in a real way in real time, and I feel it hard. And so
I wouldn't mind feeling it hard. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
And so when when I'm past it, I'm past it. And so I'm able to talk about it. I'm able to explore it. I'm able to re-examine it. I think a lot of people don't deal. And so when something's brought up, they flare up again. Or when something is shown, they react again, and they feel the same feelings that they felt. Like I can have a conversation with you about the fucking the the 20-day world trip that you took.
I didn't take
right?
a 20-day trip.
Even though I disagree with that.
My next one's going to be 21 days. Is that going to be okay with you?
I disagree with that, and I don't think that was good timing. However, I'm sorry. Go
Babe,
ahead. Will you shut the goddamn... Come on, yo. I'm going to tape your mouth, yo. Fuck. So, even though I disagree with the trip, I disagree with the timing of the trip, I also understand and believe that it was important for you to take that for your own self. And if that wouldn't have been taken, then I don't think we would have gotten to a different place. Because it put some things in perspective and reality for me, and et cetera, et cetera. But that idea of that trip was a problem for me in a real way. But I had to deal, because, I mean, what are you going to do? I'm going to act like it never happened?
Yeah, actions are your consequences. But,
Leah, so
No, but
you're
it's
quiet and let me get that off just to come back and say that, yo.
It's a real thing. And I'm saying that.
That's not... Yo, if we didn't have a history of Watergate, I would take this fucking water and chuck it at you.
Oh, baby, you wouldn't do that.
I would absolutely wet your back. Fuck, yo.
Oh, sorry.
Just no.
But I mean, what I'm saying is that's a real thing, right? Your actions are your consequences, right? Like, we all make choices in life, and know that when we make these choices, there will be what?
Rewards.
Yeah, for some people, and for those that are not rewarded, it's gonna be what?
I mean, what, consequences and repercussions?
So,
is that what you're talking about?
I mean, yeah. So, when you decide to do certain actions, like really, really decide to do it, right? And know that there are plentiful outcomes that you may not appreciate. And rock with that too. Whatever they are, rock with it too.
You think?
Yeah. Absolutely. I don't know how I feel about, like for me, with closure, right? Like, I think that it's important. I don't think that it is necessary to get the closure from the other person. Because if you truly believe that certain relationships are seasonal, then you don't really need the other person's reasoning behind why, right? Like, for instance, I had somebody ask me, like, yo, why did we break up? Now, granted, like, it was 20 years ago. You know what I mean? Like, over 20 years ago. I can't answer that question for you.
No.
I can't. You can't come and ask me 20-something years later why we broke up and think that I'm going to... the first thing I'm going to say, in which I did, I'm like, we were kids. You know what I mean? And we were. But I do believe that if one person had deeper feelings for the other, right? Like they really saw something happening, you know what I'm saying? Like this relationship going much further than it was intended to do. I'm not sure if it's actual feelings of her or if it's just a bruised ego that they require like an explanation. Like some shit just don't work. Some relationships you're there for a good time, not for a long time. And, you know, once those benefits are served, then that's it. Again, doesn't mean that you have to hate the person, right? Like, it just means that that level of the relationship is over. This is a weird thing. I'm not even gonna hold you. Like, for the most part, like I was friends with all my exes, and I was okay with that. No heart. Like, you with another chick, good for you. Like, I like that. I like that for you. I want you to be happy. I'm okay that you didn't do it for me and I didn't do it for you. I don't feel like there was time wasted. I just, it was a lesson and a blessing. I think that accepting the breakup is all the closure that you really need. Like, you just have to accept it and move on. And the best thing you can do for you, if you feel like there's things that you need to work on, is work on those things to make you better equipped for your next relationship and for yourself overall. Like, some people get in relationships and become completely different from who they are naturally, right? Because they want to be pleasers and they want the person to like them and love them. And so they go out of their way and step out of all their they forget about their boundaries and step out of their comfort zone and is just there to do the things that the other person wants, right? Not realizing, like, yeah, I'm doing all these things and this dude still don't respect me. He still don't love me the way I need to be loved, or vice versa. It could be a female dude. You know what I'm saying? What a dude. Like, it's vice versa. And so now they realize, okay, well, this really isn't working, or people break up with them or whatever. And now they're stuck with all these, damn, I really was out here doing X, Y, and Z. Oh, what's a bit like the chick April, right? Which she was like, she used to give. Damn.
Are you talking about Fizz?
Nah. Damn, was it Omarion's chick or was it
Yeah.
No, not April. Damn, Princess.
Princess
Right,
Love?
yeah, Ray J's old girl, ex-wife, or whatever they're doing. I read something came across my social media and was like, I used to give him threesomes even though I didn't want to, right? Like, prime example, like, I'm sitting up here just giving you and doing all the things that you want to do because I'm trying to make you love me. I'm trying to show you that I love you. I love you so much that I'm willing to do everything that I normally go against. And now we ain't together. I don't have a problem with you. My problem should lie within me. Because I didn't love me enough to say, I'm not for the shits. If you don't love me and take me as I am, because you want to do what you want to do, then I'm not for you. So, anyway, I think the closure comes from within. It has nothing to do with the other person. I mean, some people might feel like they need an explanation, and sometimes there's no explanation to give. Like, the shit just didn't work, and that's just on everything.
Was somebody texting you saying it's over?
If somebody texted me and said it was over, first of all, that's some coward ass shit. Don't text me no bullshit like that.
But say it happened.
I can't say that
Or say you get an email.
No. Like, for me, like, let's have a conversation.
Well, so part of the conversation is closure, though.
Don't text me saying that.
Why? So there you go with that.
No.
There's that, though.
I'm saying like, if we can talk, I mean, if we just had a texting relationship, fine. But if we had space where we've actually, like, communicated in being in each other's presence, then give me that respect and honor to continue to say and do whatever it is that you need to do in my face. I feel like to do that behind a phone or a computer is real cowardly. Has nothing to do with closure. It's just cowardice behavior.
Damn, that sounds like nasty. Vitriol behind it.
No.
So let me ask you, like, do you have many regrets
in life?
Yeah. Or any?
I don't feel like I have many. I do have a few. And I mean, am I supposed to say what they are?
You can.
I mean, and I don't feel like they're major. Like, they're just things that, like, for instance, I feel like I'm conservative, right? I don't feel like I'm a big risk taker when it comes to taking risks. And for the most part, I'm conservative as well. All around. I think that some of my regrets center around that, not always believing in myself enough to do certain things. And then when I guess, finally doing it, I was like, damn, I wish I would have did that a long time ago. But I don't regret the people that have been in and out of my life. I don't regret those relationships. Maybe one. Maybe one. But even with that, there was a lesson there. You know what I mean? I would say, like, if I can do anything with our children, if I had one wish, right, I would wish that they would listen and learn from our past mistakes or experiences, right? As opposed to having to learn certain lessons the hard way.
Meaning, like, just, well, I mean, part of growing up is just the experiences, so that's kind of...
And so you can have experiences, right? But, like, you don't have to... I don't feel like you should have to encounter negative experience, bad experiences to learn certain lessons. I don't feel like that.
Yeah, I get that.
And those are the things that I'm talking about, right? Like, I don't want to see my children hurt or sad. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And so, you know, if they could listen to, if they would adhere to some of the information that we're sharing with them, you know, about our experiences, and actually like take that, right, and rock with that, and be like, yeah, that's that bump in the road that moms was talking about. Psh, I ain't even gonna try to jump over that shit. I'm just gonna walk this way. You know what I'm saying?
Wow, that would
Like
be
that.
too
That'd be
perfect.
so dope. And it doesn't have to be with every single thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
But just some of the harder lessons.
But I mean, you know, did we listen to everything that was told to us? I mean,
I'll say this, and I don't know if it was because I was such, you know what I'm saying, like a good kid, and, you know, mature in most ways at, you know, from a very young age. There's a lot of things that were not told to me or taught, right? Like, so for me, it wasn't a matter of not necessarily not listening. So I can't say that that's you know what I'm saying, like that was the cause for me.
You genuinely wasn't told.
Yeah, no, I
I
wasn't.
mean,
You know, there were certain things that I saw, and I was like, yeah, that ain't it for me. Like, I ain't taking that path. Like, fuck what you heard, you know? I know that that's not it. I want no parts of it. That's how I pretty much navigated life. Like, my observation was for real.
I think, so even though I asked this question, I'm not sure, if I feel like I have regrets.
Mm-hmm.
Because, you know, as cliche as it sounds, like every experience, you know, shapes and molds your life's direction of where you are. I mean, like what you said, I think that there's definitely some things that I would have done differently financially.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, like, looking back at just certain things, I mean, it was just like blowing through like so much money, and it was just like coming. It felt like it was just like almost being dumped at one point. And you know, I think just living in the moment. I mean, I can definitely say what I did with the money.
Mm-hmm.
And that's because of the space, you know, and I told you this before, the space that we was in, it really was a matter of not buying you or buying your love or attention, but it was just trying to have like good moments.
Mm-hmm.
Because it was like an imbalance of like the bad moments, or the moments that weren't so like warm and fuzzy. So like anything that could, you know, extend an experience, or if it's dinner, or if it's, you know, like, that's where it was just like kind of just going, and it wasn't any like frugality. Is that a word, frugality?
Now you want to ask me if shit's a word?
Well, if it's not, I made that up. So yeah, that's on a t-shirt.
Mr. English man.
Why are you propping up like that?
Because I'm trying to get comfortable.
Well, what? No, like you're doing it like this is.
Wait, where was we at? And there was like, it's not a photo shoot. What was we doing?
Working out.
Oh shit! Yeah.
Yeah, in the mirror when you do like the Playboy pose.
But I wasn't trying to like pose. Like, I was just trying to get into position.
Sure. That's
what I was trying to do.
Yeah, I know. So anyway, I think yeah. So that's the regret thing. So there was something that happened a couple of weeks back. We haven't talked about it. I mean, everyone and their mother has commented. But you know, figure we can just kind of touch on it for a second. Tory and Meg. So he was found guilty on all charges. He was charged with discharging a firearm with gross negligence, assault with a semi-automatic firearm, and carrying a loaded unregistered firearm. And he was convicted of all 3 felony counts after about a day and a half of deliberation.
Crazy.
So he is facing
up to 20 years?
22 years and deportation. And, you know, it's not as if he's going to, like, some third world country and it's like, whatever. You know what I'm saying? But, so, what do you... Not that we dove in, and I don't necessarily feel like having all the stats here and reading all the facts and blah, blah, blah. We're just gonna spitball it. So, yeah.
My thoughts on, I mean, like, I think that...
From the beginning to the end, like the beginning when you heard it to like the end, and it's still not the end because I think his sentence is supposed to be the 27th of this month. So,
well, it's the end of the story, so to speak, right? Like I think initially everybody was like, "Oh, she's lying. He didn't do it. He didn't do it," and he was standing on a high horse and saying that he didn't do it, right? I think. See, this is one thing about, like, you know, like you didn't watch, I can't speak for you if you did or not, but you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, in the height of the pandemic, like he used to do shows and stuff on like he used to do lives on IG, right? And at some point, like Meg started to like really be with him at his crib. And, like, you know, they were saying, like, the relationship was just strictly platonic or whatever. Like, they was just mad cool. Right? But even when you're cool with somebody, whether there are, you know, feelings of like or lust involved, like, I feel like... The bottom line is this. Y'all dudes need to get y'all egos.
Leah, come on and stick to. Come on.
That's the bottom line. Like
that's not the bottom line.
That. This is what it's all about. This is what it's all about. This is why it happened. Supposedly, she was really upset in her feelings, and she was intoxicated. Like how y'all women be after the club at night. Something to him that he didn't fucking like. It bruised
but
his ego, it hurt his feelings, and he probably said some shit to her.
But
now this is all speculative.
But
right?
she said something to him because
he said something to her.
No.
Listen.
She said something to him supposedly because he was, you know, being touchy-feely with Kylie. And she didn't appreciate that. And so she made a comment.
What, Kylie or the other girl?
Kylie. And so she's saucy and feeling whatever. And that's the savage shit you be singing, right? And all the Captain Hook and all that shit. And she made a comment. And, you know, that's why your music sucks or trash or whatever was said. And then that turned into whatever. Absolutely it not justified.
It shouldn't turn into that.
Absolutely not.
And if you believe in your sauce, then you believe in your sauce. And so, like, what somebody else say don't matter, right?
Yeah, but artists are, you know, but see, that's why
Artists are so sensitive.
They are,
artists
but see,
so
that's why I am.
And selfish.
But
and what's the other S word for artists?
Yeah, see, you're being an asshole.
I'm asking, for real.
You're being an asshole.
I have one, but I'm asking you this real question.
What?
Is there another S for artists?
Selfish, sensitive. Is there another S word?
Yeah.
I don't think so. Sacrilegious. I don't know. But like artists are very, very sensitive. But that's why it's so interesting to me, and it's more in the hip hop culture that it's such a bravado and like arrogance. and like I am the best rapper and I am the best singer and I am the best. I got the, I dress the best. When like the core of the person, like I don't think you believe that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so when I walk around, people are like, oh, you're too sensitive. I'm actually like a real person. So even as an artist, I believe in my capabilities for sure, and I'll stand next to anybody.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm also aware that like I can't sing. I mean, I can't even think of like like singers. You know what I'm saying? Because it seems like nowadays it's not really many. Like people can harmonize, but like singers,
Mm-hmm.
like Jill Scott is a singer.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
My sis
Like
sang.
Brandy is a singer.
Mm-hmm.
Like I can't think of a guy.
All right.
But anyway.
So I think okay. So I definitely led us off topic. My thoughts on that whole thing is simple as put. Like it sucks that it happened. You know what I'm saying? It definitely was unnecessary, and again, your actions are your consequences, and that's just that. I don't feel like the white man trying to hold a black man down. I don't feel any of that. Right? Like you did some shit, and now you have to face your consequences. Point blank. Period.
It's unfortunate. What do you think about the backlash towards Meg about just how this all played out?
I think that it's messed up. Like she, at the end of the day, regardless of what she said out her mouth, she didn't physically hurt him. She didn't physically assault him, and she didn't deserve to be physically assaulted. She is the victim in this, and she shouldn't be demonized for being a victim. And as far as like, them sleeping together, maybe when she was initially asked, they didn't sleep together. Who knows? But regardless,
They
like
didn't
that ain't
sleep together after the shooting.
No, I'm saying people were saying that before that happened. People were saying that. But my point is, regardless, like none of that matters.
No,
it shouldn't. So I'm already a victim of you shooting me. So now you're gonna make it seem like I'm just out here loose.
Well,
like that's not okay.
Well, she has a moniker of hot girl.
So what? It's
No,
music. So it's music.
Yeah.
It's music.
Ah.
Some people put their real life in their music, and some people don't. We know that. We know that all the way around.
Yeah. Well, I say this. I think that the whole case case is just weird, and it would look. I don't think that prior to this, people were on an anti-Meg, campaign and didn't like her,
Some
right?
People didn't like her,
but I didn't. So the Savage, and I think it's just the way that was introduced, and like with social media and TikTok, and like everyone just jumps on it. It's like the Cuff It song with Beyonce. Like I actually like that song. Like I really like that song. Right? But like there's so many videos of everyone doing that dance. It's like, Jesus, all right, yo. All right. Like, So Savage to me is just like, But the Thought shit, I love that record. I think that shit's hard. Crybaby. Is it Crybaby? Crybaby. Yeah. That's her and the baby.
Not nigga. But anyway.
But so I think she's as a whole with female, and it gets into the whole thing, well, that's what all guys rap on. It's like, nah, there's definitely a difference between Kendrick and the baby and Little Baby and
all the babies.
J. Cole and, you know,
now here's the thing.
the Locks.
Can she put out some music that actually has some substance? Absolutely. Right?
Yeah, but when she did, I actually didn't like it. Whatever that song is, when she's talking about like mental health or whatever, and she performed on Saturday Night Live, I'm like, this kind of sounds bad. And so that's unfortunate, but I feel like, whatever.
But does it really sound bad, or is it just a matter of it's something that you're not like?
Nah, because I want that. Like, I crave that. Like, I love the emotional shit. Like,
to hear stuff like that from her.
Nah, I don't.
I actually, like when I initially
Hold
heard it, you know what I'm saying? I was like, oh, this is kind of, yeah, I know what you're talking about. I was like, oh, this is kind of, But then, like, again,
yeah,
I listened to it. So for me, like, I have to, like, listening to it on Saturday Night Live, it didn't do anything for me, right? I don't know at what point this became a thing for me, but like music with visuals, I just want to hear the music. I don't need to see the visual. Or I can see the visual without hearing the music, because a lot of times the visuals don't match the lyrics. And when that happens, it messes me up, because it's like, yo, this doesn't make sense. And what am I supposed to do with this?
Can I say something?
You can kiss my ass. That's what you can do.
Okay.
That's what you can do. I'll play this game with you.
But,
I'm gonna bend over just for you too. Stop playing with me.
Oh my God, yo. Cheese Louise, Papa Cheese.
That's what they said.
But I think it goes differently. Well, so I kind of
that's a live performance, but I'm just saying.
I bounced it around, but I just think in general, like, I appreciated, and you can't put the toothpaste back into the tube, right? But I appreciated having Bahamadia, Rage, MC Light, Little Kim, Foxy Brown, you know what I'm saying? Trina. I appreciated that because it was like, oh, word. Now, literally, like, Rhapsody is like one of one.
The thing is that that's because, so
it's not because it's just
no. It is because,
and
right?
Missy, I missed her. Sorry,
is not the same, right? So, like, yes, this new era, they're not necessarily marketing to us in our age demographic.
Yeah, but they weren't we weren't that age back then, Leah. I mean, this is a whole bigger. I'm only saying this because. So for Meg,
well, let me just say this: you're right. We weren't that age. However, because that's what we grew up on, because our parents listened to it, or our siblings listened to it, or because it was what was on BET or MTV, and that's what we watched. Like, it was marketed for us. But right now, as adults, we feel like we really crave substance. Not that we didn't crave it back then, but it was just a little bit different. And for me, back then, the videos and a lot of the lyrics made it absolutely relatable to how we were living. So even if it wasn't necessarily marketed to us, because we were living this shit and seeing this shit, it made it real, and we could attach to it.
Or even if it wasn't real, we wanted to fantasize about it.
But it's real because whether you lived it personally, or your homeboy was living it, because you know what I'm saying, their parents or their mother was a crackhead. Like,
yeah,
the shit was real. Like,
I mean, it's the business of it, unfortunately, is what it is. And I still feel like there's responsibility to the artists to be artists. And, someone who I love told me a long time ago, true artist paints a picture of a better world. And so it's just very, very interesting to me. Mm-hmm. But whatever. So I say all that to say, Meg along the lines of, City Girls and Sweetie, and then insert. I'm just kind of like, I'm kind of tired of, okay, got it, next, got it, yep, got it.
Like
so
everybody's like on some bullshit, right? Because I feel like, you know, also back then, you know what I'm saying? Like, not to like, because Little Kim definitely would say some shit in her lyrics, you know? But I just feel like now people are more, and women specifically are more sexually liberated, and they're not gonna allow, you know what I'm saying, somebody else to talk about their sex before they can talk about their sex. They're not gonna be uncomfortable with talking about their sex, and so that's what you're getting.
I feel like that's how it gets framed, though.
Okay,
but I mean, it's
like, you're not gonna shame me. I like it too, nigga.
Yeah, she's Leah.
Sorry.
But it's not. That's different. I don't know.
But what makes it different?
It's different because Lauryn Hill's That Thing, right? And then put that next to Little Kim Used to Be Scared of Dig, Now the Lips, right? Then put that next to what?
Go ahead.
What are you saying, Leah?
I'm sorry. Go ahead. Put that next to what?
Put that next to Foxy Brown, Il Nana.
Mm-hmm.
Put that next to Missy.
But again, you're talking about where a lot of things were censored. You're talking about a time when
but
a lot of things were censored.
But everyone was pushing the envelope, and I'm all for it. I'm not shamed. Like I'm not the prude. Like, oh my God, I'm all for it. I'm just saying, okay, got it. And I say the same thing when it comes, and we're gonna get back to, because unfortunately, I was only given context to when I was saying, like, I don't think that there was like an anti-Meg campaign. I never heard it, and I never seen it.
But you also weren't necessarily into her music to begin with.
But I'm aware. I see her. Like, I'm on. Like, I see that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I know that people didn't like. So Chris Brown. Clearly, there's hate towards Chris Brown. Like, that's never gonna go away. Mm-hmm. It is what it is. Mm-hmm. That's an asterisk on his legacy. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like Kobe, regardless of how great he was, like, there was an asterisk on his name. Mm-hmm. So, like, I never saw that with Meg. Cardi, like, entertaining, whatever. There's an asterisk because people are like, yo, she doesn't write her own shit. I didn't see that with Meg. I didn't hear that with Meg. I never heard any of those type of comments. Mm-hmm. All I'm saying is, when you sit down, whoever she sat down with, Robin Roberts or whomever, when she sits down with somebody and does an interview and a person asks you flat out, now this isn't, hey, did you shoot the person? Because legally you can't answer that, right? And you don't have to say, I had sex with them, I sucked them off in the back seat. You don't have to say any. But when you say and you adamantly deny, and I'm speaking ignorantly because I saw it kind of, but I don't remember it. But somebody said that she kind of answered it in a way of, like, she left it open where she said, like, I'm a grown woman, I don't have to. So if that's the case, then I guess it's up for your interpretation. But if on a basic level you're asking a question and you're not truthful, then in the court of law, your character is questioned. That's the whole point. So if a witness goes up and they're lying and this document, like Tory is documented in saying, I didn't shoot her, blah blah blah, this, that, and the third. So, like, we're gonna now hold that
again. So what if they did have sex? And so what that she left that open and vague?
But you can't say so what, babe.
So I can, because them having sex has nothing to do with him shooting her.
It doesn't. However, for me,
why are we talking about it?
Because it just makes it so.
No,
this
and
this
I would be vague too. Like,
so,
why are we talking? My sexuality,
it's
or my
not.
sexual experience has nothing to do with somebody physically harming my body.
But
Period.
so,
Period.
So I don't think there's a period. I think that I think that's a hyphen or a comma.
No, it's a period.
This whole thing is a mess. There's lying from Tory. There's lying from Meg.
Did she lie?
There's lying from Kelsey.
Did she? But did Meg lie?
Yeah, I just said she lied, and you said, what did she have to do with it?
What you said was that she left it vague.
I don't know if that's. I'm speaking ignorantly because somebody said that that's what she said. I don't know.
Let's go back and let's find it so we can be factual.
Well, all right.
And you know what? Shit, fuck that. Ain't none of your damn business. What the fuck you asking me for?
Leah, again. So, if you murder somebody, right?
Don't put that on me.
If someone murders someone and they ask them a question of, hey, have you ever gotten into any trouble as a kid? And you say no. Have you ever done illegal drugs? And you say no. But you are like on camera, like sniffing coke. You lied. Like you have done illegal drugs. Now, you're doing illegal drugs isn't necessarily tied to you murdering someone, but you lied. So, it's part of the package. You can't exclude that from the package. Or you could just say, I choose not to answer that. Right?
Or wherever they did those drugs, maybe it wasn't illegal there.
Leah, coke is,
whatever. You said
that's
drugs.
why I didn't say weed.
You said drugs initially.
Yeah, but then I said coke. I wanted to be very clear because I know how you're a contrarian. I don't feel like dealing with the bullshit from you.
The shit that's a natural substance.
Yeah. What, coke?
I don't know.
A cocoa leaf?
Yeah.
All right. Well, do you partake?
I don't do stuff like that.
I know. That's what Meg said. And so.
Wow.
But Kelsey lied.
And that's messed up.
Yeah. Well.
That's what I'm saying. Like, see, them type of friendships, I don't want that.
Yeah. So back to the discarding thing and the seasonal shit. The seasonal employments. So anyway. Yeah. Anyway, the Megan, Tory, and Kelsey dilemma, and what I did tell somebody today is, it definitely has to do with the amount of money and resources and the power of her mom. But Kylie is like spoken about, but not really. Mm-hmm. She is out of this shit clean. Mm-hmm. And it's just really interesting to me. And I don't think that's a race thing. I think that's different.
It's a privilege thing. Period.
Sure. Yeah, definitely.
It's a privilege thing.
Because if it was Cameron Diaz, if it was...
It's a privilege thing. And that's just the bottom line.
I couldn't even imagine if they were at Sanaa Lathan's house. Can you imagine?
It's a privilege thing.
So, But, that's money, power, respect. I love that record. I love that song. So, anyway. It's all a mess. And...
an unfortunate mess.
And it took so long, like 2 years. Like, why?
Again.
And it's not due to COVID.
Closed, I think initially.
Nah. I think it was outside.
But that don't mean the courts was open. Like, they was still doing Zoom court. Like, come on.
Yeah. It's the whole thing. The whole thing was just weird. Then, like, there's no footage of, like, somebody fucking shooting random. It's not like one shot. It was multiple shots.
I feel like there was footage. But again, I mean, I could speak for myself. I know that I wasn't following that case. You know what I'm saying? Not because I don't wish the people well, right? But
oh, knock it off, Leah.
Because
you are not sending healing energy to Tory Lanez, aka Daystar.
So
and
the
Meg.
The difference is, right? I want her to he needs help. He has whatchamacallit? He has anger problems. His little fucking ego is constantly bruised. Look what he did to August Alsina.
But August kind of, August.
No. Here's the thing, because here's what happened with that, right? If
he shouldn't have walked over he shouldn't have followed him back. If he was gonna do something, just do it right then and there, because that's different.
But his ego.
But
his,
when you
his
go and
ego
follow the person, that's crazy.
His ego wouldn't allow him not to be spoken to. Like, you think you so fucking hot that I have to talk to you when you don't rock with me. You've already said out your mouth that you don't rock with me. So why am I supposed to come and try to spark a conversation with you? You don't rock with me, don't fucking talk to me. And don't expect me to fucking talk to you. It's that simple. But because I'm exercising my right not to talk to you after you done talked your shit, you want to be mad? Get your little tiny 2-foot ass out of here.
My body, my choice.
Get the fuck out of here.
Leah, you are just letting
I'm
it.
sorry.
Okay. All right. So we're gonna.
Sorry.
Let's.
Oh my God. I'm so sorry. Can you bleep all that out?
No. I want people to see raw and uncut, and so that way when they're championing you, like, oh my God, I love her so much.
That's me being me. That's me expressing my feelings.
Filthy. I mean, we definitely can't do public appearances.
We can. I can control myself.
I don't think so.
You know what it is?
Yeah.
I can't control myself. You know.
You said you can't, or you can?
I said that I can.
Yeah.
CAN.
But
can. I think right now I'm just like I'm super comfortable, and
I mean I could tell.
But I'm saying I'm just super comfortable with you too, right? And so like,
clean that shit up.
if we were to be filming, like I would be like doing public appearances, I would be a lot more cognizant of our audience because they would be present for the most part.
I don't know.
And so I'd be on my best behavior.
Well, I don't buy that. But either way, it sounds good. And,
But that just angered me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't like it. So for what I'm saying, so with all that being said, right, like the people need help, right? And so I do wish him well because I hope that he gets the help that he needs. Whatever trauma that he's experienced, he needs to figure that out and work on it. Right? So that he's not putting that on other people.
Bleeding on other people.
You know what I'm saying? We know Meg experienced a lot of trauma. She had significant death, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, you lose somebody, it's going to be, easy for you to attach to somebody else who is showing you some of the things that you are now missing from the person that you've lost their physical being, right? Like their physical presence. You've lost this person that meant so much to you, that showed you so much, that gave you the love that you needed. And now you have somebody else filling in that void. So yeah, it's going to be easy for you to attach to these people. So I wish her well too in every area of her life. Because she needs to heal as well. Trauma is real. Trauma is so real that those hurt feelings can turn into mental illness.
Yeah.
Like, it's real out here.
I'd say.
So if I ever hurt you, anyone listening, I apologize. It was my trauma, not me.
You hurt me plenty.
Well, you deserved it.
Nice, Leah. God bless. All right, guys. So, thank you for rocking with us again. I just, like, I don't, yeah.
Ben.
What?
You earned it.
What?
You earned it.
Earn what?
You earned whatever you received.
All right, guys. Thank you. Be well. Have a what?
Why are you stuttering?
Have a blessed day. Happy New Year. Yeah. Say your thing so we can.
Honestly, we definitely appreciate everybody.
No, Leah, you're supposed to do the tag, yo.
Time out. Don't step on me, okay?
You don't like it.
We appreciate everybody listening. If you've experienced some trauma,
hit my line.
No, don't hit mine. And you're not sure of, which way to go or how to deal with, said trauma, seek professional help, and deal with it, unpack it, as, damn, who says that? Charlemagne? Unpack it. You gotta unpack it. You really gotta unpack it, so that you can move past it. Doesn't mean that you have to forget those feels, but you don't have to live in those feels. All right. We are not professionals here,
Speak for yourself.
We are not professionals here. But we do wish you all the best. And we appreciate you.
Love and light.
Love and light.
All right,
and with
come on.
that said, wedlocked and loaded.
Daystar.
Wedlocked and loaded.
Wedlocked and loaded.